99% of women have had a moment where they were putting more energy into a man than themselves, or a man was affecting your feelings and your emotions just way too much because you wasn't focused on yourself and the things that you were doing for yourself and your hobbies and, your time and your job and your aspirations and goals enough. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Mindful Vibes 365 podcast, where we have stimulating and productive conversations about how to be mindful in all areas of your life. I'm your host, Malaysia, and before we get into it, I have to ask, what's on your mind today? What's your vibe? Let me know how y'all feeling. How's your week going? How's your day going? Right now, I would say my vibe, I'm feeling very much lover girl today. Okay. I'm feeling very much like I'm moving really deep into my Proverbs woman era. And I love that for me. But however, feeling this way is what actually led me to the topic of what we're going to be talking about today. So first things first, no boys allowed. Okay, guys, this is not an episode for you. I'm only talking to my ladies on this one because we're going to be talking about how to decenter men and why it's so important for women to truly learn how to do this. So get comfortable, grab your AirPods, snuggle up on the couch, and let's really get into this dialogue, okay? I want to talk about, number one, what decentering means, what it doesn't mean, and why is, one of the most powerful things you can do for your peace, your purpose, and your overall life as a woman. So what does decentering men really mean? I know there's a lot of dialogue that happens on social media in regards to this topic, but I feel like it always comes off as more negative than positive in the form of advice. I want to just kill all the drama and all the dramatics. What you have to realize is decentering men does not mean that you're a man hater, that you're bitter, that you're lonely, that you just don't like men, that men give you the complete ick, that you never want to deal with another man ever. That's not what decentering men means. It means that your vibe, your identity, the way you move in day in and day out does not center around a man and what he's doing or what he's not doing. Okay? Simple. Whether a man is acting right today, whether a man is not acting right today, whether a man has texted you, whether he has called you, you are still operating like your normal self because you're not centering your world around his. It means that you have truly made yourself the center of your life, not somebody else's inconsistency. It's about having that emotional independence, being in love, being in a relationship, dating, still maintaining your individuality, still not being consumed by your relationship, still not being consumed by your man, still not being consumed by all that lovey-dovey stuff. Okay, you can love your man deeply. Okay, my man, my man, my man. But that doesn't mean that you need to make him your oxygen. That's all I'm saying. First things first, I just really want to sit back and reflect on how far I've come when it comes to dating and dealing with men. Like, I remember being 22 and, just dealing with dudes, just getting so upset when, like, they didn't text me back, they didn't call me back, they didn't do this, they didn't do that, they said they was going to do something, didn't do it, and I would just be, like, going crazy, crashing out, ready to crash out, as they would say. You taking hours to text back, I'm rereading our messages, I'm checking my call log, I got my phone in my hand, waiting on you to call, waiting on you to text, and I would really just be, like, spiraling. Not, pulling up on a man and outside his house spiraling, but just spending so much time being consumed about when is he going to do this? When is he going to do that? Is he going to do this? Is he going to do that? Right? When is he going to call, text? Why hasn't he called, text? And it was just like, this is actually crazy. As if I didn't have a whole life to live. Like, oh, girl, the growth. But when I really look back on it, y'all, almost every woman experiences this. Now, I'm glad that I got that out the way in my earlier 20s, in 18, 19, 20, and 21. And then I let that way of thinking go because it was not beneficial at all. What I will say is, like I said, every single woman goes through this. So if you're sitting up here watching this, like, oh, I ain't never been like that. I ain't never, trust me. 99% of women have had a moment where they were putting more energy into a man than themselves, or a man was affecting your feelings and your emotions just way too much because you wasn't focused on yourself and the things that you were doing for yourself and your hobbies and you know, your time and your job and your aspirations and goals enough. You too focused on that man. Now, I want to move into talking about what happens and what you are at risk of when you decide not to decenter men, or when you haven't grasped the concept of decentering men. Let me tell you what's going to happen. When men are secretly at the center of your universe, even if you don't realize it, you are going to ignore red flags because your fear of being alone is louder than your standards. Okay, so when men are at your center and you are not at your center, you know, it's like you're idolizing this man so much that your brain is clouded. You're overlooking all the red flags that this man is probably showing you, right? Because you're so consumed in him. You're so consumed in what he's doing, what he's not doing, what he's telling you, right? You know, you're not doing enough things for yourself to keep your mind off of him for a little while. So you just missing red flags from left to right. You're missing key things that you need to be focused on. You're missing key things that, you know, you should really be picking up on. And it's all just going right over your head. Your energy is rising and falling and fluctuating. You hot and cold. All right, baby. 1 minute you mad. 1 minute you happy. 1 minute you sad and depressed. 1 minute you just don't know. You want to be single forever. 1 minute is my man, my man, my man. It's based on his attention that he's giving you. One drive, what you doing, text, and you know, you back smiling. Oh, he finally texted me back. Okay, I'm happy we talking. Like he didn't just slow down for a couple days. Like he didn't just not answer your phone calls. Like you haven't seen him in X amount of time. Like he didn't just leave you undelivered when he was out doing X, Y, and Z for whoever knows how long. And then the third thing that happens when you don't decenter men is you simply just lose yourself in relationships. Like you don't have no more solo time, no more time with the girls, no more going to the gym because you lazy, you too busy laying up with that man. Oh, I just want to lay in bed with my man. I don't want to get up. I don't want to, oh, I can do it later. I just want to lay right here with my man right now. It's just me and my man 24/7. I'm always with my man. My man always with me. And I'm always staying over there. And he always staying over here. And we always up under each other. We always in the car. We always on the phone. You're on the phone 24/7 while that man is even at work. You just sitting on the phone listening to him breathe. Babe, that's a bad habit. All of those are bad habits. But let me tell you, if some of these things that I'm saying are hitting home to you and you like, damn, that's me. Or you find that like one of your homegirls act like this when she gets a man or she starts talking to somebody, that's a problem. This is a disaster waiting to happen. But like I said, it's okay. I've been there. You've been there. We all been there at some point, which is why we even having this conversation right now in the first place. Okay, so I want to ask you, are you censoring men without even realizing? Right? Let's do a little quiz. I wrote down some questions for you to think about and reflect on. You can ask your homegirl, y'all can chop it up about this, or you can just answer these questions out loud in your head. Okay, but the whole purpose of this is to be real with yourself and be honest with yourself so we can correct this behavior. But number one, are you always talking to someone? Are you always in a relationship? Are you always dealing with someone? Like, yeah, I've been talking to this new guy. I don't even like the word talking, because what we even talk about, either we in a relationship or you're my homeboy. That's all it is. It's the whole little talking stage thing that social media then came up with. I don't even know what that means. But do you always find yourself talking to somebody? Like there's never a period of time in your life throughout the year where your line is dry. You're not texting. You're not getting no good morning text. You're not getting no good night text. Nobody is concerned about your whereabouts and you're not concerned about nobody else's whereabouts. Do you have, if you're not in a relationship, do you have periods like that, right? Or are you consistently always talking to somebody? Like you always got people in rotation. Even if you're not taking them super serious, you're like, oh, I can just text him when I'm bored. I can text him when I just want to, go get some. I can just text him when I want to go get some food or whatever. Another key way to know if you're centering men without realizing it, when you go out, are you getting dressed for you? You getting dolled up for you? Or are you hoping a man notices you? Like, are you getting dressed up because you're like, oh yeah, I'm finna catch me one tonight. The men is gonna be on my body tonight, all right? Are you going out and getting dressed and putting on smell good perfume for that? Or are you doing all that because you genuinely want to look good, feel good, smell good. It's a difference. And before anybody says like, oh, I would never do. Remember, I said be honest. Number 3, are you a different version of yourself when you're dating versus single? This is important because a lot of people will say, oh, I act the same way in a relationship as I do when I'm single. And that be the furthest thing from the truth. When you get into a relationship, you stop talking to your friends. You stop calling your mom and dad as often. You stop spending time with them. You stop spending time with your family, right? You just start getting so uppity because you are just like secluding yourself in this relationship. You're not the same person. You don't have the same habits. You're not as consistent as you was in your regular life, right? With the things that you do. Your schedule is now all over the place because you have prioritized this man in this relationship over your own life, right? I ain't telling you to kick your man to the curb, but dang, don't kick yourself to the curb. Number 4, have you stopped doing things you love once you got into a relationship? This goes back to what I've been saying. Have you neglected going to the gym? You know how people be like, oh, happy weight. I got happy weight because I'm so happy in, you know where happy weight comes from? Yes, you're going out, you're spending time with y'all man, y'all having date night, y'all, he keep you well fed. Okay, I love that for you. Love that for you a lot. But the happy weight comes in when you stop going to the gym, when you stop doing yoga, when you stop doing Pilates, when you start working out, when you start running. All because, you're so happy and he's keeping you fed. And all y'all doing is eating, sleeping, and having sex. Ask yourself these questions and be honest because it's important. And number 5, are you in a relationship but feel like you've low-key lost your glow? Like you in a relationship or you're talking to a dude, but you're not happy. You're not that same, oh yeah, I'm me, I'm that. You just like, oh yeah, I'm cool. I'm in a relationship. I have a boyfriend. I have a man, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, babe, you're supposed to be like, yeah, I'm in a relationship, but I'm still very much that girl. I still walk around with my head held high. I still have my own healthy habits. I still make my own money. I still get up and go do X, Y, and Z with my girls. I'm still taking girls trips. My life is lit. It's been lit before him and it's lit with him. Okay. Your life cannot just stop being interesting and fun just because you get into a relationship. If that's the case, this is the wrong relationship for you. This is the wrong dude to be talking to if you feel like you have to pull back on what you love about yourself in your own life. If you said yes to any of these questions, this episode is definitely for you. So I want you to make sure you keep watching. Send this to somebody who can probably benefit from listening. But you're not alone. There are plenty of women who experience this and go through these things. But the good news is I'm going to help y'all change that today. Okay, we're going to really get down to the nitty gritty and talk through some practical ways that you can decenter men and still have a healthy relationship and still have healthy interactions with men, because I love men, first of all. Okay, my man, my man, my man. I'm definitely that type of person too. However, I love my life. No man could ever come into my world and just make me stop being like that for real. I was like that when you came into the picture, babe. And I'm going to be like that while you're here as well. And if that ever bothers you or you can't handle it, then you have no business being my man, because real men want you to still have your own sense of individuality as a woman. They still want you to, they admire, actually, real upstanding men now, not men that want to be control freaks and control your whole life, but real upstanding men that desire to have wives because they want to be husbands, okay, and good quality men. They love when a woman got a routine. Like, yeah, my baby, she got a routine to do this, to do that. She do this, she do that. She don't let me get in the way, okay, of what she loves to do for herself, what she got going on. It's not gonna happen. Hey y'all, thanks so much for tuning into this episode, which is sponsored by Mindful Vibes 365. If you or anyone you know are experiencing feelings of anxiety, overstimulation, mental burnout, depression, just overall disconnection from God, more than likely it's time for you to reprogram your mind and vibe. And what better way to do this other than fasting from secular music for 90 days? As somebody that did this for an entire year, my life really started to experience a huge shift and everything changed for me right at the 90-day mark, and it honestly motivated me to keep going. However, I did create a 90-day workbook that is going to help you level up mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, in just all areas of your life through the power of, like I said, fasting from secular music. Instead, you're going to replace what you would typically listen to with podcasts, sermons, audiobooks, personal development teachings, Bible readings, gospel music, and all things that are stimulating, productive, motivating, encouraging, and uplifting. I created this workbook because I've seen and experienced firsthand what the power of fasting from secular music has done in my life. I've made more money. My aura has become untouchable and more powerful. More people want to be around me. I'm overall happier. I have a greater connection with God. Life is great, and I want you all to experience that as well if you are someone experiencing the things that I mentioned earlier. In addition to your daily tasks that you're going to have to complete, you're going to have access to resources, thought-provoking quotes, and tips that you are going to be able to use and apply weekly as you become your best self. So first things first, congratulations in advance on your new mind and vibe, and make sure you go ahead and grab your copy or grab one for somebody who you think could really benefit from reprogramming their whole entire mind and vibe for the next 90 days. I'm super excited and working towards the goal of helping 1,000 people reprogram their mind and vibe through the power of fasting from secular music by 2026. So make sure you go ahead and tell a friend and tell a friend. And again, congratulations in advance on your new mind and vibe. Let's get back to the episode. So let's really talk about some solutions, okay? Because I'm not just going to sit here and rant. It's not about just calling it out. It's about doing the work to get your power back. So let's just talk about some real ways that you can recenter yourself. You're probably listening, or if you are listening and you're like, okay, Malaysia, you calling me out. Okay, you're popping it. Now that I know the problem that I have, how do I fix it? What can I do? Malaysia, oh my gosh, tell me. I'm going to let y'all in on a few secrets, so pay attention. Number one, prioritize your friendships. Good girlfriends and good female relationships are a form of therapy. And I'm not talking about just having friends that are going to hype your head up and feed your delusions. I'm talking about good friends who hold you accountable, good friends that have things going on for themselves. They got motion going on. They have a good job. They have good, healthy habits. They may be in a relationship too, but they still maintain their daily lifestyle. You need to be friends with people like that and make it a ritual to have bi-weekly brunches, or y'all go work out together, or you go walk at the park or the Beltline if you live in Atlanta like I do. Book clubs, prayer groups. Me and my homegirls have Bible study every single week. I don't care if you with your man or not. Make sure you're on Bible study, period, point blank, okay? So little things like that you can do, okay? Fit those things into your lifestyle because they're going to keep you grounded. They're going to remind you of who you are, and they're going to remind you that all joy does not have to come from romantic relationships. Like all the joy that you experience on a consistent basis does not have to come from your relationship or your partner. It can come from your friends. I love my homegirls, okay? So make sure you get yourself some good friends that you can call up, get you together real quick, and you can be back to being who you are. And remembering, like, you know what, Ashley, girl, I got stuff to do. I got content to make. I got money to make. I need to be working on this, doing this, that, and the third. You right. I'm tripping. I'm spending too much time being consumed in this situation. Let me lock in real quick. Get you some friends that's going to get you back in mode. Okay. Number 2, date yourself. I am all for taking myself out. This is the perks of being a woman who doesn't depend on a man or doesn't have to depend on a man to buy her stuff, to send her money, to pay for things. Like step number 1 to this is having your own money. Okay. So you can take yourself out. If it's a new restaurant that you've seen on TikTok that you want to try out, go. Don't wait on anybody else to go. Don't wait on that man to take you. Don't wait all the way to the end of the week to go out and have a little drink if you want to do that. Go to dinner in that outfit that you've been saving. Ask a stranger to take your pictures. Buy a tripod to take your pictures, right? Buy yourself flowers. You don't have to wait on anybody to give you flowers. Take a walk by listening to your favorite podcast, your favorite audiobook. Do stuff, romanticize your life. Like, I feel like that's where a lot of women go wrong. They don't romanticize their life, and that's a problem. Book a solo spa day. I love taking myself to the spa. I'm good for going to the spa, getting a foot massage, getting a body massage, and then taking myself to lunch and getting a drink, having a good little lunch, sitting at the bar, conversing with strangers. Like, that's an ideal day for me, y'all. I love going to the spa and then heading over to get something to eat, grab me a little drink at the bar, and just vibing out. Do a little quick weekend trip. Pick somewhere safe, of course, but travel. Do staycations at one of the top hotels in your city. You don't have to have a +1 24/7 to live a beautiful, romantic, fulfilling life. And like I said, this is why I said you don't have to have your partner with you 24/7, because I'm not saying break up with your man. I'm just saying you need to learn how to have healthy, fulfilling enjoyment away from when you are with your man. If the only joy that you have comes from when you're with that man, if something happens to where you and him are no longer a thing, the joy is going to go right with him, and you are going to be sad. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be unhappy. You're going to be like, I don't know how I can live. I don't know how I can go on. You don't want that. I don't want that for you either, friend. Okay. And number 3, this is a big one. You are going to need to upgrade your self-esteem. Like, a lot of times as women, we obsess over a man because we've been neglecting ourselves. Like, you worried about all these small things with this man. Like, I wonder, is he doing this? And I wonder, is he looking at other women and thinking about other women and talking to other women and all these different things. And it's like, fix what you're insecure about, because if you block out all them insecurities, you don't have time to even sit around and think about stuff like that. And you're not fixing, your insecurities or what you're insecure about for him. You're fixing them for yourself. Okay. So when you go to the gym, or if it's going to motivate you to get cute and go work out, do that. Buy some cute new workout sets. They cheap. You can find some cheap outfits from Amazon, TikTok Shop, Fashion Over, Shein. I don't care where you get it from, but you have options, okay? Do that skincare routine even if you're tired. Don't sleep in your makeup, boo. Do not sleep in your makeup. Make sure you get your skin right. You don't have to wear makeup 24/7 to be beautiful. Focus on getting your skin right. Prioritize your skincare. Do your skincare routine every night while you are maybe listening to a sermon, right? Or listening to gospel music. Just putting yourself in a good mood. All of this is going to boost your self-esteem. Learn how to embrace your natural beauty. And your natural beauty is not just your looks. It's how you feel on the inside, how you feel about yourself. Do you feel like you're a woman of value? Do you feel like, you're a woman that really has a lot to offer to the world in terms of how you speak, how you act, the things that you are knowledgeable about? If you don't feel like you're knowledgeable about anything, sounds like you have a lot of things that you can be learning. Crack open a book, turn on a podcast, learn how to do a new skill. There's so many things that you can do to help boost your self-esteem, because the more solid your self-esteem is, the less outside validation you'll crave from men specifically. Okay. And you'll stop asking things like, well, why it didn't work out with him, and why he didn't pick me, and if he didn't see my value, then why did he have to? Okay. If he didn't see your value, then that's on him. But you already know how you are, who you are, and that you really like that for real. So you don't even have to be worried about why he didn't do X, Y, and Z. That's none of your concern. Number 4, you also need to release the expectations that you put on men. When I tell you this is a big one, like, y'all, I promise. A lot of us expect too much from men off of vibes alone, off of words. That's where we mess up. Okay, we like, the vibe there, he's saying all these things, blah, blah, blah. What the actions talking about? Because that's the only thing that is really important, okay? He smiled at me. He paid for dinner. He picked me up. He complimented me and talking to me every day within the first month that we started dealing with each other. We prayed together once before. Now y'all planning the future. Y'all picking out baby names. Slow down. This is your voice of reason. I'm your voice of reason right now, telling you that you need to slow down. This man has not even proved to you that he is ready to be a husband. He hasn't even brought up wanting, to do X, Y, and Z and what the future is like. So you're letting all this little small stuff, bare minimum stuff, cloud your judgment and get in the way. Now you setting false expectations based on this facade and, dream that you're building in your head. And that's honestly the quickest way to be disappointed. So let men show you who they are and stop feeling the need to have control. Just be present and learn how to protect your peace along the way. And if you follow the things that I'm saying, you'll learn how to live your life in a way where you don't have to go out of your way to, avoid men, or you don't have to play these little psychological games. All these things that I'm saying are things that you should want to do anyway as a woman. These are all things that'll help you become a more feminine, independent woman. And number 5, which is like probably one of the most important ones, but you need to find your spiritual center. If you are not rooted spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, any outside storm is going to knock you over. So if you don't have strong faith in God, strong connection with God, and talk to him about these issues that you have when it comes to dealing with men and love and relationships, like any little win that come is just gonna knock you right over. And it's gonna be like, wow, like I just feel so lost. I'm so frustrated. I feel like I just can't go on. And this is exactly why you have to talk to God daily, not just when you're in a crisis, but when things are going good, when you and your man and everything is all peachy. Yeah, you need to be praying about that. Lord, continue to wrap your arms around this relationship. Help me continue to grow individually as a woman. Help him continue to grow individually as a man. Blase, blase, blah. Listen to sermons, read devotionals, okay? Invite God into your dating life. Invite God into your relationship. Ask for discernment. Ask for wisdom on how to handle certain things. And he'll show you who's for you and who's not for you, period. Okay? And that's something that you really have to believe. Like going to look for signs and playing these psychological games and stalking a person's social media and trying to piece together pieces of a puzzle. If you have a proper relationship with God, you're not even going to need to do any of this because he's going to reveal signs to you anyway. The Holy Spirit is literally the ultimate red flag detector. So that's all you need. Now, as we wrap up, I just want to put some more emphasis on what happens after you recenter yourself. You become more magnetic. Your aura becomes more powerful because you're not moving out of desperation. You're about being centered, confident, joyful on your own, in your own time. When you away from your man, you chilling at the house by yourself, or when you going on solo dates, or you with your friend, or y'all not spending every single waking minute on the phone. You're enjoying your alone time. You watching your favorite show. You're reading a new good book. All those things, right? High quality men love that stuff. Like I said, they respect it. They know you're not about to crumble if you don't call them back. They realize like, oh, she got some structure. Let me make sure I don't play. It seems as if the way that she run her life, she's very serious. And if I mess that up, then I'll be kicked to the curb. That's what you want. You want a man to know and feel like he can't play with you. Because why are you trying to play with me in the first place? Whether somebody stays or goes, your life is still beautiful. Okay, you're gonna be sad, some things gonna happen, and you're gonna have to cry it out, be dramatic about it for a while, but overall, like, you're still gonna be able to function because you've been keeping up and maintaining your lifestyle. You've still been doing things for you. You've still been learning and growing and spending time with friends and sticking to your habits, sticking to your routine, all of that. So it's just going to make life a lot easier as you are dating because you're not letting yourself become so wrapped up in somebody else. You don't want to give all your time away to somebody else. Be selfish with some of your time. Be selfish with parts of yourself. That's the only way that you're going to be able to make it out here in these dating streets. Decentering men, it's not about bitterness. It's not about hating men. It's not about just never talking to men again, cutting all your men out, breaking up with your boyfriend. I'm not telling you to do that. If you're in a happy, loving relationship, I love that for you so much. If you're talking to a great guy now and things are going really well, don't cut him off, right? But if you're thinking like, okay, well, I'm not doing any of the things that she mentioned in this episode, that's okay. Start going out with your friends. Start taking yourself out. Start picking up new hobbies. If this is a man that really wants to be in your life, he's just going to adjust to that. He's going to admire that. He's going to respect that. And he's going to fit in, okay? Because he want to be a part of the program. It's about having a healthy rhythm between being a loving partner, a loving girlfriend, a loving wife, and also still loving on yourself as well. Your peace is so important. Your purpose, your growth, all of that needs to be a priority to you. So I just want to remind you that you are so worthy. You are so powerful. You are so amazing, and you have the power to continue to grow and evolve into a better woman every single day. Okay, 1% better every single day. Change your habits, change your mindset, change the way that you think change some of your actions. You have the power to change all of that stuff. So to all the ladies who stayed with me to the very end of this episode, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the very next one. Bye.